Hello, welcome to Yoga at Midday. I'm Tawana Wright, Associate State Director of Community Outreach with AARP Alabama. And we're delighted that you joined us for this first episode. Today we've got with us Becca Impella, who is going to be our instructor for this series. Becca has over 20 years of teaching yoga, and we're looking forward to every. Hey, Becca.
Yeah, hey. As Tawana said, I've been teaching yoga for about 20 years. I'm a physical therapist also. I'm excited to have this opportunity to bring yoga to all of you. We'll be doing a practice that's really easy to do from a chair, a little bit of standing if you choose to do that. It'll be real invigorating if you've been working for the morning, or a good way to start your day if you're just kind of getting going with your day. We'll do a little bit of work on our breath, which will help us to calm ourselves down or bring ourselves back into some balance, and we'll get the body moving a bit for some joint health and circulation and just feeling a little bit better in our bodies.
Well, that's fantastic. This is the first episode of what's going to be a 12-week series. So what we need you to keep in mind is this. Before you begin any new exercise routine, you need to consult with your physician and make sure that you're prepared to do this. So we want to make sure you do that ahead of time. But as Becca said, this yoga series is going to take us through a lot of things, and we're going to be doing standing and sitting exercises today. So the most you need is a chair, starting in a chair, and then we'll do some standing exercises. So Becca, let's kick this thing off.
All right, great. So I'm going to adjust my screen here, make sure we can see my space. Perfect. All right, so I've got just a basic folding chair, but really a kitchen chair can work fine, a dining room table chair, anything that's going to be sturdy and allow you to sit upright, okay? So that's really all you need, a little bit of space around you. Anything that we do today can be modified up or down, depending on what you need to do for your body. So I want you to make sure you take care to not do anything that doesn't feel comfortable in your body. Stay away from anything that creates pain or creates any sort of sense of anxiety or difficulty. Some of the things you'll get used to over time if you do this sequence with us for the next 12 weeks, and you'll find yourself changing a little bit. Now, I want to just say one thing real quick about some of the benefits of yoga. There's clearly a physical benefit to moving our bodies, just like any exercise is good for our bodies. There's other benefits to yoga, such as breathing, working with our breath. That's important for our respiratory health, as well as impacting our nervous system and helping with our mental health. We're going to use mindfulness, meditation type techniques. That's also really good for our mental health and well-being. So with yoga, we get to combine benefits for the physical body, for the emotional and mental body, and really wrap everything into one nice practice. All right, so like I said, just another reminder, if there's anything that I ask you to do today that doesn't seem quite right for you, remember you can do it on a smaller scale if you want, or you can skip it all together for the time being and wait for something that does seem right for you. All right, so we're just going to start with a little bit of awareness to seated posture. I would love it if your feet are able to be on the floor. Okay, so this might mean you need to scoot toward the front of your chair so that your feet, you can have on shoes. I don't have on shoes. You can slip yours off if you want, but shoes are just fine. But have those feet really resting on the ground. And then make sure that your spine is sitting up tall. You might be able to keep the back of the chair against your back and have some support. It just depends. If your feet come off the ground, scoot forward and get those feet on the floor. And then I want you just to bring your hands to your lap and drop them onto your thighs. And then try to bring your hands and your shoulders back a little bit so your chest lifts up and you're sitting nice and tall. All right? For this next part, it's a little mindfulness meditation or awareness of the body. And you can choose to close your eyes if that's comfortable, or just drop your gaze to the floor and soften the focus of your gaze. Now we're just going to start with a couple of clearing breaths. And these are breaths that just kind of help us release tension and shift our breathing rhythm. So when you're ready, take a nice deep inhalation through your nose. Exhale a sigh out of the mouth. Let's do that 2 more times. That clearing breath can be used anytime you feel yourself just needing to shake off something or reset your breathing. Now what I want you to do is to find your feet. And what I mean is to find your feet with your awareness. So can you become aware of your feet? Maybe you've got socks or shoes on. Notice that sensation. If you're barefoot, notice the sensation of toes moving freely. Contact of your foot against the floor. And then I just want you to stay with your feet for a few more moments, just bringing your attention to your own feet. Let's just focus on the right foot for a few moments. Can you sense your right foot? Are you able to feel the weight of your foot on the ground? The texture of the surface that you're resting on, it's a hard floor or a carpet. Can you detect your right big toe? Don't worry, if you're not able to sense some parts of your foot, just imagine them. Bring them to your mind's eye. Can you sense your right arch and the instep of your right foot? Notice the whole right foot. Imagine it growing a little bit bigger inside your mind. And then let's shift over to the left foot. Take your attention, your mind's eye and awareness to your left foot. And just see what you can sense about your left foot. Can you feel the toes? Do you notice the arch? Notice that whole left foot. Let it grow large in your mind's eye. And then let's take in the 2 feet, right and left at the same time. Maybe there's some differences. Maybe you feel one foot better than the other, or you have a better sense of it. So just notice for a few more moments your feet. Finding our feet is a great way to bring ourselves into the present moment, to ground ourselves, and perhaps bring our attention away from all the many things that might distract us inside our mind. Now we're going to come back to our breath. So take your awareness up to your chest and take another full breath in. Sigh and exhale. And then let's begin to move a little bit. You can turn the head now side to side. We'll do a little more breath work at the very end. So as we make some movements with our joints and our spine, keep it on the gentle side, especially as you start the movement, and you can gradually go bigger or further or faster after you get going. Bring that chin forward and then drop it down to your chest. Make sure you keep your chest up. And then give that head a little roll over to one shoulder and then forward, over to the other shoulder and then forward. Now let's see if we can bring some breath into this. So start to time it so that as you inhale, your head rolls over to one shoulder. And then as it rolls forward, you're exhaling. Inhale, over to the shoulder. Exhale, forward to the chest. Now we're going to add a little to this. As you roll that head in one direction, drop the opposite arm down. Exhale, bring the hand back to your lap, the head forward. Inhale, roll to the other side, drop the arm down. And exhale back to center. Let's keep that going. This arm that's reaching down, now you can reach it to add a little more stretch if you want. The weight of the arm hanging will also give a little more stretch on the neck, and that might be just enough. Let's do it one more time to each side. Exhale, forward with the head. Inhale, stretch that neck, shoulder. And then pick that head up. Take a moment here, find your feet. Just feel the ground underneath them. Feel free to wiggle the toes if you want. All right, shoulder rolls are next. So roll those shoulders up, back, and down. And let's bring the breath to this as well. Inhale to go up, exhale, back and down. This can be like a nice massage to that upper back, tops of the shoulders, where we hold a lot of tension. Let's do 3 more. Big breath in, exhale, release. 1 more. And we're going to keep this basic movement going, but change the position of the arms a little bit. So bring the fingertips to touch the shoulders if they can. So we've got bent elbows, and keep on circling. So now as those elbows sort of draw in a circle out to each side of you. Maybe your elbows can come close to touching in front. Maybe not. Either way. We'll just lift those elbows. Inhale, exhale, and bring them back and down. 3 more of these. This is helping us to warm up that upper back now as well by making a little bit bigger motion with the arms. Last one, and then we're going to keep circling, but we're going to go to extended arms. So a full arm circle. Sweep the arms up. Exhale, back and down. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, back and down. 3 more of these. Your circle might be as big as mine. It might be smaller than mine. So if you've got some shoulder issues, make a smaller circle. Last one. Now, if you can drop those hands down to your sides, maybe your chair is such that you can hold on. If not, if your chair is just not designed like that, I want you to reach your fingertips down to the floor. So either hold on or reach down. And then one arm, take that one arm up and over. Keep your hip on the chair. Let's release, come back to center. Other side. Maybe hold the chair, maybe reach down, stretch the other arm up and over. Keep the hip grounded in the chair. And then back to center. Let's do that again to each side. Notice I turn my palm face up as I reach that arm up. That's usually a little better position of the shoulder. And then release. Other side. Up, over. Keep the hip on the chair, feet grounded. And then release. Take a moment to pause and just notice the side bodies, the effect of that stretch and that movement. Can you feel a little tingle, a little change in sensation? I'm going to often ask you to notice sensation in your body because that's really good for your nervous system. Helps it improve its function, which is a good thing. All right, hands at the heart. We're going to do a little more movement for the spine. Inhale is a pull back, elbows back and down, chest up any amount. Exhale is a push forward, rounding that upper back. Drop the chin toward your chest. Feet are still grounded. Inhale, pull back, maybe lift and look up. Exhale, forward. You can drop the chin if that's comfortable. Inhale, so now we're getting even more of the spine. The ribs come forward, the chest comes up. Exhale, we get a little bit rounded. Don't collapse in your low back, however. Stay on the tops of your hips. Use that breath here. 3 more. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Exhale. And again, I want you to pause. Let the arms rest in your lap. Take a moment to find your feet. You're back here in the moment. Notice how your spine feels. Notice how your back feels, your chest from that movement. Now this next movement, if you find that it's not so great for your low back, substitute the one we just did instead, okay? This next movement will take the hands forward to the knees, okay? And on the inhale, we'll pull back. That's real similar to this one. And then on the exhale, we'll fold, round it forward. Now for some folks, maybe this isn't a great feeling in your back, okay? In which case, you can do the other movement, pushing forward and rounding the upper back. So here's our inhale. Exhale, you might want your feet, your knees a little wider for this one. Inhale. Now I'm going all the way down and touching my ankles. You may stop right here at the knees or the shins, and that would be fine. 3 more. Inhale and exhale. However far feels comfortable for you to go. Last 2. Last one. All right, coming back up. Again, pausing a moment just to notice the effect of that movement on your body. What's the sensation change? All right, now we're going to do a little bit in standing next. And if for any reason you don't want to stand up, don't feel it today, have difficulty with standing balance, you can stay seated in the chair and do a good bit of this in the chair. Now I'm going to turn that chair just so I'll be able to hold on to it and keep facing this camera here. All right, we're going to find the feet again. So standing now, find the feet. Feel their contact with the ground. Notice if there's any difference now that your full weight is on your legs and into your feet. All right, we're going to take that side stretch, same as we did in the chair. Inhale, one arm up. And stretch it any amount over that's comfortable. If you need to hold on to your chair, you can do that with the other hand. And then release. Other side, reach up, stretch up, maybe hold onto that chair for a little security over the top. Good. Let's try that again. Reach up. Anchor those feet, especially the side that you're stretching. Keep that leg really grounded. Push into the floor. And release. One more time. Remember, holding on is great. May help you get better stretch if you feel more secure. All right. All right, now we're going to stretch these hips a little bit, okay? If you want something to hold on to, then I suggest you turn so that you're holding on to the back of your chair or any piece of furniture that's handy. And we're going to step one leg back and keep the other leg close to the chair. How far you step back? Well, that depends on what feels right for you. There might be some stretch in that back calf, some stretch in the hip. See what feels right for you. Bend that front knee some. And here I want you to draw down with your tailbone a little bit. So draw that buttock down. Lift your belly up. And then if you like, you can take one arm up or both arms if you don't need to hold on. You're going to stretch up. Exhale, take the arms down. Keep the legs grounded. Push back into that heel. Lift up with that belly. Again, inhale, one or both arms up. Exhale down. 2 more. Last one. This is great for opening up those hips that might get tight if you're sitting a lot. All right, we'll switch sides. So just step in, but pause first. Notice how that leg that you just had back there feels. How does it compare to your other leg? There's no right or wrong answer that you're looking for when I ask you to observe, okay? So it's not a test. You're just checking in. How did that feel to my body? What did I notice? All right, let's take the other leg back. Again, you decide how far back. Okay, could be a short stance, could be really long, or anywhere in between. Front knee bends, push into that back heel, make sure that glute is active, and you're lifting up from your belly. All right, one or both arms can lift. Inhale. Exhale. Keep the legs strong. Inhale. Exhale. 2 more. Last one. Step it on in. Again, pause and just notice. Notice the effect of that stretch, of those deep breaths. Okay, we'll stay here. You may still want to touch the chair for a little bit of balance. This is going to be a reach back and lift that foot up off the ground and give me a circle. Now, if you want to work on your balance, you can try and let go. Stand on the one leg, maybe touch with just a finger. Circle that foot the other way. Good, and then just reach back. Maybe keep that foot off the ground. Maybe touch the toes down if you need to. Lift the belly. Bring those hands back like we did in our chair when we were facing this way and pulled back. And if you need to hold on with one hand, keep holding on. Lift up, get tall. And then release. Stand on the other leg. Take the foot back. Circle that foot and ankle. Go the other direction. Good. And then we're taking this leg back, squeeze in that buttock. Maybe float that foot off the ground, maybe touch the ground, okay? Either way, keep that active reach back. Lift up to the belly, the chest, maybe bring the arms back. One arm if you want to keep holding on to your chair. And release. Shake it out. All right. Now, if you can come around to the front of your chair, like so, and place your hands down in the seat of the chair. This is the last thing we're going to do standing. And if you don't prefer to do this position, you can sit in your chair and repeat this one that we did at the beginning. Okay? If you're okay here, we're going to do a version of cat-cow, standing like so. Feet are away from the chair, hands are on the seat. And as I exhale, I'm going to round the back up towards the ceiling. Inhale, flatten my back, lift my hips, lift my chest. Exhale, round it. Inhale, it helps to bend the knees for this part for sure. Exhale, it could be straight knees or bent knees for this part. Let's do 3 more. All right, 1 more. Sometimes it's hard for me to count to 3, believe it or not. All right. We're going to bring it back to sitting down. We're going to wrap things up here. We're going to do 1 more stretch for the hips. This is a great one to do anytime if your hips get tight when you're sitting for a long period of time. So come back to the chair. Sit towards the front of the chair. And then you're going to see if you can cross your ankle to your knee. Now, sometimes that's hard. If you simply move this foot forward and then cross, it'll be a little lower down. If that still doesn't work for you, then cross that foot on the ground and start to turn the knee out. So this is a good option if getting that foot all the way up to the knee just doesn't work. Okay? Sit up tall. You have the option, should you want to take it, to lean a little bit forward. You may or may not need to. You may already feel some stretch in the hip. Of course, we don't want it to be pain. We want it to be stretch. Feel a little tightness there is good, but nothing sharp, nothing painful. Take 2 more breaths here. Good, and then release it. And again, we're going to pause. You'll get used to this. I'm going to ask you to do this often. Pause and just notice how that hip and leg feel compared to the other hip and leg. And then we'll go to the other side. So it could be that you're crossing all the way up here. Could move this leg forward, cross it a little lower, or cross the leg onto the ground. If you've got a little step stool, that actually works great as something in between the floor and the leg, okay? So cross that leg over wherever you can, sit tall, and perhaps lean forward. I'm not gonna lean forward on this side. My left hip is tighter. I get plenty of stretch just sitting up tall, so I stay right here. But some of you might wanna lean into this a little bit. Again, wanna feel that stretch in the hip, but not have any pain. 2 more breaths here. And then we'll go ahead and bring that leg down. Pause a moment to notice. All right, we're going to finish with a little twist in the chair and then a breathing practice to settle us down. So bring your feet, your knees as close together as you comfortably can. Maybe they're touching. Okay, sit up tall. Take a nice deep breath in, spread the arms out. And then exhale, turn and bring one arm across to the opposite knee or thigh. This other arm might rest on the back of your chair or go down in the chair beside your hip. Sit tall. You're going to inhale up into the chest. Exhale, turn any amount more. Two more breaths here. Inhale to sit tall. Exhale to turn. And then inhale, release it back to center. Exhale, pause, notice. And then we'll do the other side. Reach the arms out and up. And turn the other direction, bringing that front hand across to the opposite knee. This other arm is going to find wherever it wants to rest, on the back of your chair or down beside your hip. Remember, the lift happens on the inhalation. Exhale, turn. And on an inhale, bring it back to center. Check in, notice how things feel. We're going to come back to our original start position, feet grounded, hands on the thighs. Take a moment here, find your feet again. Eyes closed or gaze down at the floor, soften the gaze. Find your feet, become aware of them, connecting to the ground, to the earth. We're going to do just a little bit of breathing here. I want you to imagine a little pinprick of light or color. It could be right here in the center of your body. It could hover out in front of you if you wanted. And we're going to imagine that that little pinprick begins to grow into a circle, a sphere as you inhale. And then it draws back in, right to the center as you exhale. So imagine that growth of the circle, the sphere, as you inhale. It gets bigger, expands in all directions. And as you exhale, it slowly draws back into its center. Now just see if you can slow that movement of the circle down so that it opens up nice and slowly. And it closes back into the center nice and slowly. Keep coming back to that image, that little speck of light or color, expanding, growing as you inhale. Drawing back into the center as you exhale. Slow it down each time. And take 3 more breaths with that image. See if these last 3 with your circle can be slower each time. All right, now we're going to just lift those hands, bring the palms together in a gesture of gratitude. Take a deep breath in. Just bow your head. You should say thanks to yourself for showing up and giving this a try. Thanks to AARP of Alabama for giving you this opportunity. Thanks to your body for participating in this work. And thanks to anything else that you would like to take a moment to be grateful for. And then lift that head. Thanks so much for joining me. I look forward to being with you again next week.